What's your level of desire that you want this, that you have to have it? Is it a burning desire? I need this. Or is it, it's okay. I can live without it. I'm a 1. So if you're not a 7, 8, 9, or 10 in desire, 7, 8, 9, or 10 in belief, forget it. Start with things that you truly believe in and you truly desire, and then they will come into fruition.
I know the thought has crossed your mind of starting your own business, being your own boss, and making your passions the thing you do every day. It's time to take the next step into making that dream a reality. You've got to start now to turn your crazy goals and dreams into your daily path to success. My name is Nate Wilde, and I'm here to give you the tools, knowledge, and confidence you need to start your own business and find success. Let's not start moving to your dreams tomorrow. Instead, let's start yesterday. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am your host, Nate Wilde. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Today we have Joel Salomon. He is awesome. I'm very excited to have him with us today. He's a master prosperity coach. He's a finance expert and a best-selling author. And in our conversations the past couple minutes, I've really gathered that he's going to have some great insights for us today. So not to put you on the spot, Joel, on that, but I'm so excited about this. Joel, thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
Thanks so much for having me. It's a true honor to be here, and I'm really excited to share some lessons learned with your audience. So thank you so much.
Great. Well, Joel, first off, could you introduce yourself to the audience, kind of tell a little bit about what you do right now and where you're coming from?
Absolutely. So I started my career as an actuary, and you may know the difference between an actuary and an accountant. An actuary looks at his feet when he talks to you, an accountant looks at your feet when they talk to you. They say an accountant is an actuary with charisma. But actually what I was doing when I was an actuary was I was doing computer programming at a life insurance company. But I went through all the exams. I am a fellow of the Society of Actuaries. But I realized towards the end of my tenure at the insurance company, that I wasn't doing what I loved. And in fact, in the evenings and weekends, I was analyzing and picking stocks. And I said to myself, if I could ever align my hobby and my career, then I could have fun during the day as well as in the evenings and weekends. So I reached out to actuaries on Wall Street and around the country and found finally, most of them said, Joel, why are you switching? The actuary is the best job in the country. In fact, in 1992, this was 1993, 1992, the actuary was on Forbes magazine cover as the #1 job in the United States. Low stress, high income. In fact, I was 27 years old and I was making $110,000.
That's great.
In today's dollars, that's 400,000. I was making $400,000 at 27 years old. Would you switch? Well, I did because I had a dream to be a professional money manager. And long story short, I took a circuitous route, but 15 years later, I started working at Citigroup as a professional money manager. 2008, by the way, wasn't the best year in the stock market.
That's a tough
Some
year.
of your listeners may remember the market was down the market was down 40% that year, and financial stocks, the only stocks I was managing, were down 57%. And we managed to make a few percent that year. 2009 was much better. And I might actually still be working there today if a law wasn't passed that said banks can't own hedge funds. So my whole division was laid off, which gave me the kick in the butt to start my own company. So I started my own hedge fund, which actually was my true dream. And after about 3 years of successfully managing my own hedge fund, I had an epiphany, which we can go into later if you like. And I shut down my hedge fund to start coaching people, teaching people how to change their mindset around money from, oh, I can't afford that, money doesn't grow on trees. That's too expensive to thoughts of abundance and prosperity. So I work on people's mindset, beliefs, and thoughts about money. Once I've done that, I teach them specific manifesting techniques. And there are many, but I teach the ones that have worked for me, and they pick the ones that work for them. And then I teach them how to invest that money. Once we've manifested real money, I teach them how to invest them. I used to be investing in stocks. I teach about stocks, but if people are interested in real estate or bonds or crypto, whatever excites them, because I truly believe if you're interested and excited about an investment or a business, that's where the money is going to be made. So for me, that's most important is what are you excited about? What's your true purpose? What are you interested in? And if you can actually align your purpose, then you'll be with your true dream, then I think you'll become prosperous and abundant.
I love this.
That's what so I'm teaching people how to change their mindset, manifest, and invest. And I do that through one-on-one coaching. I do it through group courses, and I also have a membership.
I've been getting really excited in talking with you, Joel, about this, because that mindset that you are leading people away from, of like, money doesn't grow on trees, like I could never afford this is never going to be in my reach, frankly, and it's because they've never known anything different, is the mindset of tons of people who are in the audience, I think, of what we're trying to portray here. College students, young people. When I was 20, 21 years old, oh my gosh, that was absolutely my mindset. But I love this, and I love the idea that no, it's you manifest what you want and need in your life, and that is, nothing is unattainable. Joel, can I ask you with this, how did you kind of come to that conclusion? How did you yourself, how did you kind of adopt this mentality and realize that it was so important?
Yeah, it is so important. And it's interesting because we completely create our lives, and yet we blame others for our life. And we don't take responsibility for all aspects of our life. And I teach you should. And so how the way I've been doing this my whole life without consciously realizing it, but I became a professional money manager. I had a dream to be a professional money manager, and I achieved that dream by overcoming people's doubts, right? So, and I had to believe in myself. I had to believe in the dream. And I think there were two books that I read 14 years ago and 15 years ago that really got me to shift my conscious thinking to I create my life. And those two books, and we've already talked about books before we got on recording, but I'm a huge reader. You'll see my recommended books, and these two are on there on my website, solomore.com. My company is named after my daughters, Lauren and Morgan. So it's SA for the first two letters of my last name, Laura Moore. So solomore.com. If you go into inspiration, you'll see all the books I recommend. And the two books that changed my thinking were The Secret and Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich, I actually read twice a year since 2009. So I've read it, I guess, 24, 25 times now. And every time it's different. And the reason it's different is because I'm different. Because I've changed in I read it twice a year, so every 6 months. I was like, even just 6 months ago when I read it in December, I was like, was that really there? I can't believe, I don't remember that passage, because that one really spoke to me this time, right? And so Think and Grow Rich and The Secret are both talking about empowerment and how you create your life and how your thoughts become the things of your future. And it's not exactly true, because not every single thought becomes a thing, right?
Yeah.
But the reason is because there's resistance. And you think a thought and you want it, but then you think an opposite thought. Oh, that's probably unlikely to happen. So the two really important things in dreams or desires that you have to figure out if you can achieve them and attain them. Number one is rule number one in the 9 money rules millionaires use, my bestseller from 2019. It's when you believe. And that's also a song by Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston, you may know, which I listen to every morning.
It's a great song.
Talks about miracles, yes. So when you believe. So I tell my clients to write down their level of belief from 1 to 10, where 10 is absolute faith, a knowing that it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And 1 is massive doubt. There's no way it's going to happen. So what's your level of belief in your dream or desire? And if it's not 7, 8, 9, or 10, I say don't go there. Actually, cross it off your list because it's not happening. Until you raise your level of belief, it's not going to happen. You're going to be doing this. You're going to be putting out the thought and resisting, putting out the thought and resisting. So start with something you truly believe in, or soften the affirmation or what your dream is. So that's the first piece. The second piece is desire. What's your level of desire that you want this, that you have to have it? Is it a burning desire? I need this. Or is it, it's okay. I can live with that. I'm a 1. So if you're not a 7, 8, 9, or 10 in desire, 7, 8, 9, or 10 in belief, forget it. Start with things that you truly believe in and you truly desire. And then they will come into fruition.
I love this because this mindset is not taught normally throughout the world. That's one thing I've realized, and it's I previously, for those of you who don't know, I used to be a loan officer, and when I was a loan officer, our entire company was very focused on this idea of you can create and manifest exactly what you want. There is abundance for everybody. The books that Joel mentioned are phenomenal, reaching exactly that. I'll also throw in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. Incredible, but nobody talks about it. Everybody's just focused about you've got to be competitive and you got to hustle as hard as you can to make it happen. And working hard is important, putting effort into it. But honestly, at the end of the day, that's kind of putting effort into what you're talking about, what you truly desire and are looking for in this world. So I love this idea. It gets me all excited. But
I actually will, because I use this as an example, so I'll have to contradict you a little bit, which is the consensus thinking of 99% of the world or more is flawed. And we're taught that we need to work really hard to be rich and successful. And that's what my parents taught me, and that's what my grandparents taught my parents, and I'm pretty sure my great-grandparents taught my grandparents. It's generational, right? And so we think we have to work really, really hard to be rich and successful, but it's not true. And I will tell you, my life in 2009, I made 10 times what I made in 2008. And in 2008, which was a really bad year in the stock market, I still made more than double what I made in 2007 or 6 or 5 or 4. And that was because I started learning these things, and I changed my mindset, and I believed, and I didn't work hard. In 2009, I worked about half the hours, and working hard, I think, is perceived as working many hours. So I'll just use that example. It's time, right? Working hard is working 15, 16 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 5 days a week or 7 days a week. I was working 70, 75 hours in 2008. And in 2009, I barely got a bonus, and so I realized that if I continue working that hard the rest of my life, I might not see my kids become teenagers. They were 2 and 4 at the time. And so I started working smarter. I started having more fun. And, these are all the lessons that I put into the 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, my second book that came out in 2019, my bestseller. And I said, what can I do to be happy, to be unconditionally happy? Because when I was managing money, If I lost money, I was sad. I was upset. I was depressed. And if I made money, I was happy. The problem is that I was not the best money manager in the world. And even the best are making money 60% of the time. I was probably making money 50% of the time. So every other day I was sad, depressed, upset. What a terrible way to live your life. And I realized if I could create unconditional happiness, think about the Maldives, think about things that I wanted to happen in my life, and think about the good things and things that I'm grateful for, which is rule number 5, then I could be happy unconditionally, independent of what is going on in the physical reality.
Yeah. Oh gosh, this is great. So Joel, let me take this one more step further with you here. So if you were addressing specifically young people who are just coming out of high school or who are currently in college, who might, I mean, like you mentioned, most people are addicted to this mindset that you have to compete and you have to put everything you have into your job to be successful. When you're right, that absolutely is not true. But if you're talking to people who are stuck in that mindset, that are wanting to start a business, but it's overwhelming with the mindset they currently have, what advice would you give them right now?
Yeah, so when I started my own hedge fund, I didn't know everything, still don't know everything, but there were a few things that I had learned from my journey to being a money manager at Citigroup. One is #doubt the doubt. So have faith in your dreams and desires and doubt your doubt. And I had a lot of doubt, throughout that journey of getting to be a hedge fund manager. People said, Joel, you can't do it. You don't have an MBA in finance. You don't have decades of experience as a money manager. You can't do it. And I just decided this is my dream and I'm going to break the rules. And so I never got an MBA in finance, by the way. And it didn't take me decades of experience. So there's I'm not good with rules. I actually talk about this in the 9 Money Rules, even though it's called the 9 Money Rules. First chapter is, and the subtitle is only the unconventional ones, but I'm really bad with rules. So break a rule. And just because somebody says it can't be done, I say cut out the word impossible from your Wikipedia instead of your dictionary. Cut it out, because there's nothing impossible unless you believe it's impossible. So doubt the doubt, have faith in your dreams and desires. And the second recommendation I would say is baby steps. So it may, for me, starting a hedge fund after I was laid off from Citigroup was completely overwhelming. I said, okay, I called around and I asked people who had already started hedge funds. So one great idea would be to talk to people who have already started businesses and ask them some key questions like this, Nate, and say, so what did you learn? And for me, it's take a baby step. So I called them up and I said, what's the first step? And they said, hire a lawyer, because you need somebody who's got your back, who can write the contracts. And so take that, what's the first baby step in starting a business? Usually it is creating an LLC, creating the operations. So you probably you don't absolutely need to have a lawyer. You can create an LLC online these days, right? It's really simple. So get the forms and create the LLC. And then, get a banker. You need a private banker, or just go to your bank and open up the accounts, right? You can do that online too these days. So that's what I did. I hired my lawyer. And then once I hired my lawyer, I said, give me 3 recommendations for an accountant. If you have a business, you probably need an accountant, right? So, and I need a professional accountant. So I was raising money. I needed to have a name accountant. So I needed to have, and then I needed to find a name lawyer and so on. So it's everyone taking a baby step. I remember being in Manhattan, walking around and saying, okay, what do I need to do next? I hired the lawyer, hired the accountant. I asked the accountant, what's the next step? Oh, you need to get a broker, to trade your stocks. Okay, give me 3 recommendations, and just kept on doing that, taking a baby step. So the same thing, with your starting your own business, it's okay, what are the baby steps? Talk to people who've already done what you want to do, and reach out to them. And I'm not saying all of them are going to respond. A lot of times I didn't get responses, but I kept on pushing myself forward, asking the questions. And, it's just, for me, it's just asking lots of questions. And that way you get the knowledge and learn, and then people start helping you.
I love that. Gosh, that's exactly it. I think that's what we need. So Joel, this has been phenomenal. And I feel like I personally have taken great things, and I hope that those listening have as well. So I wanted to give you a chance for those of you who want to know what you're doing, take part in any, I know we were talking about a workshop and maybe read your books, things like that. Where can they find you and your products?
Yeah, so I do want to mention the workshop, which is coming to June 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's 10 a.m. Pacific. It's absolutely free. And if you enjoyed this conversation, the workshop is called How to Shift Your Money Mindset. So we're going to go in more detail into some of the topics we just discussed. We'll have exercises for you to do, and you will shift your money mindset within an hour. So if you're still feeling lack and scarce and you're doubting what I just said, so hashtag doubt the doubt. If you're doubting what I already said, then we're going to go through exercises. So that workshop is absolutely free. It's called How to Shift Your Money Mindset, and you can get the link on my website. It's salamour.com, again, SALAURMOR.com, named after my daughters, Lauren and Morgan. So that's on there. Any other things that I'm doing, including my membership, if you want more information about that, all the details on my membership are on there. My group courses are on there. And if you want to inquire about one-on-one coaching, you can do that as well. And if you want to sign up for my email list, you'll get a free white paper or special report called The 5 Mistakes New Millionaires Make. We haven't talked about acting as if, but I will tell you that one of the most powerful ways to become rich is to act as if you already are. And so if you want to become a millionaire, get this special report, a white paper called 5 Mistakes New Millionaires Make, and you can text to the number 66866. That's 66866 NMR for 9 money rules, NMR. So text NMR to 66866 and you'll get your special report along with some other special bonuses as well, which I'll make surprises there. But I also do a free weekly video, a money tip that you'll get as well every week as part of getting onto the email list.
Guys, Joel has so many incredible resources that this whole idea and the things that Joel is teaching is exactly what we need. I think this is incredible. So I'm excited about this. So I'll make sure a lot of this is put in the description of the episode here so that people can use it and connect there. But Joel, let me ask you one final question. If you have one final piece of advice for everybody, what would you say?
Hashtag doubt the doubt. Doubt the doubt. Like, I know it's a big thing. I know you have doubts about your dreams and desires, and I did too. But if you can have faith in the dream and not have faith in your doubt your doubt, you can truly live the life of your dreams. You can thrive in this physical reality and not just survive. So I truly want that for all of you. And I hope you can believe in yourself, because I believe in you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Joel.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Start Yesterday podcast with Nate Wilde. If you want to find this and other great podcasts, find them on pantheon.fm. See you soon.